Battle Bitch Madeline really pissed me off, man. It was a game that should have been great, and it was awesome premise. We're going to have, you know, a nice little, I think it was a Kickstarter game or something like that, and we're going to kind of like do our own spiritual successor to Ghosts and Goblins, but we're going to have, you know, the girl is going to rescue the guy. It's going to rescue Arthur or whatever at the end, and, you know, the Madeline was going to be the girl, and it was like a, I think the main developer had his daughter design all the bosses and stuff. It was also named Madelyn. But boy, he screwed up. And there's several ways he screwed up. So let's talk about the first mode, which I didn't even really play, was the Metroidvania type mode where you're going back and forth and you're getting things the way you do in Metroidvania. The problem is you have like Ghost and Goblin levels, and they're like huge, and there's like huge checkpoints between them, and it's like real difficult platforming and shit. And so just imagine like you're playing, you know, the first level of Ghosts and Goblins, and you have to go back and forth between it all the time to get back to doing the things you need to do, the meta gameplay or building up your level, whatever. And it's like you're so pissed off because it's freaking terrible. There's some things that just should not have been done. And making the Ghosts and Goblins levels as your Metrovania levels is one of those things you shouldn't have done. And it was like cryptic puzzles and other crap. They got a lot of mixed reviews from that, like there. And you know, I played that for about 2 hours. I'm like, you know what? I'm not even going to bother with this because it also had an arcade mode, which is the classic of what you wanted to do. The arcade mode has just a straight, you know, go through the levels, beat the game, and it has way more enemies, and you can just get all of the power-ups and stuff that you would normally have to work your way towards in like the story mode. And it was way better, but because he's put both of his time into doing 2 different modes instead of just working on the arcade modes, which is better. The arcade mode's got some weird difficulty spikes, and the level I'm showing right now is the it's like the ship level, whatever it is. There's this part where you're going down these slopes, and it is absolutely obscenely hard, way harder than anything the actual Ghosts and Goblins games. While the rest of this game, the rest of the Battle Princess Madelyn was not that hard. It's just this one section when you're going down these slopes, and she doesn't really respond well to jumping off the slopes. It's some kind of weird dang puzzle thing you gotta do, and I don't... Well, it's not really a puzzle, but it feels like a puzzle in your mind. It's like, how do I make this jump? What's going wrong? What am I doing wrong here? And you're going down, and there's like these little blob things going back and forth, and you don't know when you're coming down these slopes where they are going to fall in, and so you can just go down these slopes and you're on these blobs. You don't know whether it's the time you do it because you couldn't see on the screen. There was nothing in like Super Mario World where you can hold down or whatever it is and look down to see where you need to go. And so it's like just fucking shooting this shit. Here we go, let's go. If you die, oh well, you're gonna go back 3 minutes and have to do this shit again. And it's like really cruel. Ghosts and Goblins knows it's hard. Battle Princess Madelyn does not know how hard it was, and I think we're coming up to the part right now in this playthrough. There's the slopes. It's so fast you can't react to, and there's these little blob things, and like there's shit going around. And once you fuck up, dude, it's so ruined because you'll go back to a checkpoint, but all this shit still happens. Look at the back screen's like twitching out. Just thinking about it right now pisses me off. Enraged. I'm trying to jump this shit. And you know, you can sometimes stand down with these little little crustacean things, and sometimes you can't. There's green shit going on everywhere. And once you screw it one time, all that shit's flying around, and it's like, and you're sliding down into it when you don't got any warning, and your jump doesn't really work. It's like, what the fuck? And I was so pissed off. And I would think that most people who were trying to play the game would get there and say, fuck this, and quit. Not most people, man. I just kept going, getting face murdered for like, you know, the whole rest of the game would be like 40 minutes. Then I spend 40 minutes just in that section just to get through it. And God, dog, it was bad. It was terrible. It's wasted potential is what Battle Princess Madelyn is. It's wasted potential. I must have paused the game here, just freaking out and cussing, probably trying to describe what I'm going to do next. But it's just, why do it like that? Did he not even have anyone else play the game? I understand it. Ghost and Goblin was supposed to be hard, but and silly hard, and you want it to be silly hard, but not where the whole rest of the game is easy and one particular section of one level is like stupidly hard. It doesn't make any sense, and it was just puts a damn just hurt pain. And the graphics are great. I like the intentional low resolution. It looks really good. The music was pretty good. I like the cool weapons and stuff you could get, although here I'm stuck with the damn sword. You don't want to be stuck with... It's kind of like in just think if you've ever played Ghosts and Goblins and you pick up the wrong weapon or whatever on accident, you're like, God dog. You can eventually... You're forced to continue when you get games over, but you can eventually get it back. But... whatever weapon you're looking for. But, I mean, I can't even remotely recommend it. We are going to give it... Big Kitty's going to give it one paw up because she really liked the graphics and the concept and the gameplay was pretty good. Brian's throwing the damn fucking gauntlet paw down because what the fuck is this level right here? This level is stupid as hell and I don't know what they were doing. It was... he had to be distracted on making a big, huge Metroidvania game because Metroidvania is the way you gotta go. It's gotta be Metroidvania. No, it don't. No, it don't. Just do the levels. Just do the levels. Just do an exact Ghosts and Goblins copy with the girl instead, and it would be amazing because I think he got what makes Ghosts and Goblins. It's here. It's jumbled up. It's mumbled, man, and if you want to be brutalized, play it. But it's not even a typical brutalization that you're wanting or expecting from Ghosts and Goblins. It's just really cruel in one section and too easy in the rest of it. I'm like, well, okay. It's a game. Don't play it. Battle Princess Fuckadin.